Have you ever noticed how some older men walk into a room wearing something simple, and yet every eye quietly follows them? Not because they're trying too hard, not because they're rich, but because there's something about them that feels rare, grounded, almost dangerous in a calm way. Why are women deeply attracted to certain older men, while others become invisible with age? And what is it that these men wear that instantly changes the way people feel around them? Most men think attraction is about muscles, expensive watches, or designer clothes. But the truth is far more psychological than that. Because the thing women are truly drawn to, especially as they mature emotionally, is not fashion, it's energy. And older men who understand this wear something far more powerful than fabric. They wear presence. Stoic. Presence, a quiet confidence that cannot be faked. And in this video, you'll discover the 10 things older men wear, internally and externally, that create a deep magnetic pull women instinctively feel. Because by the end of this video, you'll realize attraction has very little to do with age, and everything to do with emotional mastery. The first thing older men wear that women find irresistible is calmness. Not the fake calmness of pretending not to care. Real calmness, the kind that comes from surviving storms. A younger man often reacts emotionally to everything. He needs validation. He chases attention. He speaks too much when nervous. But an older Stoic man understands something powerful. Silence carries weight. When chaos enters the room, he doesn't panic. When someone disrespects him, he doesn't explode. When life becomes difficult, he doesn't collapse emotionally in front of everyone. And women notice this immediately. Because deep down, emotional stability feels safe. A man who controls himself appears stronger than a man trying to control everyone. Else, Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." An older man who truly understands this wears composure like armor. And strangely enough, that calm energy often becomes more attractive than physical appearance itself. If you've ever noticed how certain men become more magnetic with age, subscribe now, because the deeper truths only reveal themselves later in this video. Especially the final point, the one most men completely misunderstand. The second thing older men wear is patience. Modern dating has made people restless. Everyone wants instant attention, instant replies, instant chemistry. But older men who carry Stoic wisdom understand timing. They don't rush connections, and that patience creates mystery. A younger man often chases too hard because he fears losing the opportunity. But an older man understands something profound. What is meant for him will not require desperation. Women feel this energy immediately. It changes the entire dynamic. Because desperation repels, but patience attracts. A patient man makes a woman feel chosen, not hunted. He listens carefully. He observes. He doesn't interrupt to prove himself. He allows conversations to breathe. And ironically, that emotional restraint creates far more tension than aggressive pursuit ever could. This is why older men often become more desirable over time. Not because they learned tricks, because they learned control. The third thing they wear is purpose. Nothing attracts people more deeply than a man focused on something greater than attention. A man obsessed with approval becomes weak, but a man obsessed with purpose becomes unforgettable. Older Stoic. Men understand that life is short. They no longer waste years trying to impress everyone around them. They build, they create, they protect their peace. And women sense this immediately. Because purpose changes the way a man walks, speaks, and even looks at the world. There's a different energy in a man who wakes up with direction. He no longer needs to force attraction, because purpose naturally creates gravity. Think about it. Why do some men become more attractive with gray hair? Because certainty is attractive, and purpose creates certainty. A Stoic man understands that his mission matters more than temporary validation. Ironically, this often makes people value him even more. The fourth thing older men wear is restraint. This is where most men lose their power. They reveal too much too quickly, too much emotion, too much insecurity, too much talking, too much neediness. But Stoicism teaches that power often hides in what you choose not to reveal. An older man understands restraint. He doesn't constantly explain himself. He doesn't beg to be understood. He doesn't chase every argument. And this creates emotional intrigue. Women become curious about men who are emotionally disciplined because restraint signals strength. Anyone can react emotionally. Few people can remain centered. This is why older men with self-control often appear more masculine than younger men trying desperately to appear dominant. Real power is quiet, and women instinctively recognize it. The fifth thing they wear is emotional independence. This may be one of the most attractive qualities a man can possess. An emotionally dependent man drains energy from everyone around him. He constantly needs reassurance. He panics when ignored. He bases his self-worth on attention. But an older Stoic man learns how to stand alone, not because he hates people, but because he finally understands himself, and that changes everything. A man who enjoys his own company becomes incredibly difficult to manipulate emotionally. Women feel this security because emotionally independent men don't create pressure. They don't cling. They choose relationships from desire, not loneliness. And there's something deeply attractive about someone who could walk alone peacefully, yet still chooses connection. That is strength. The sixth thing older men wear is simplicity. Modern culture teaches men to overcomplicate attraction, luxury brands, flashy lifestyles, constant performance. But true sophistication often looks simple: a clean appearance, a calm voice, a grounded posture, intentional words. Older Stoic men understand that simplicity reflects clarity, and clarity is magnetic. Think about the most respected men you've ever seen. They rarely looked desperate for attention, because confidence doesn't scream. It whispers. Women are deeply attracted to men who appear comfortable in their own skin, men who don't need to perform masculinity every second, and simplicity communicates exactly that. A Stoic man understands that elegance is not about excess, it's about control. The seventh thing they wear is mystery. Now, this doesn't mean playing manipulative games, it means maintaining depth. Some men reveal every thought instantly because silence makes them uncomfortable. But older men understand the value of emotional pacing. Not every emotion needs immediate expression. Not every detail needs explanation. And this creates fascination, because people naturally become curious about those who are difficult to fully read. A Stoic man understands that mystery is not created by pretending to be cold. It's created by being internally fulfilled. When a man's entire life doesn't revolve around external validation, he naturally becomes harder to predict, and women often interpret this as confidence, because it is confidence. The confidence to exist without constantly demanding attention. The eighth thing older men wear is standards. This changes everything. Many men believe attraction comes from pleasing everyone, but Stoicism teaches the opposite. Respect yourself first. Older men who carry standards become deeply attractive because they no longer tolerate chaos, just to avoid loneliness. They value peace more than temporary excitement, and women notice this immediately, because standards communicate self-worth. Man who accepts disrespect instantly appears weaker. But a man who calmly walks away from toxic behavior creates an entirely different emotional impression. He signals abundance, he signals discipline, and most importantly, he signals self-respect. A Stoic man understands something powerful. The way you allow others to treat you teaches them how valuable you believe you are. That energy changes relationships completely. The ninth thing older men wear is wisdom through pain. This is what younger men often fail to understand. The attraction women feel toward certain older men is not really about age. It's about transformation. Older men who have suffered, lost, failed, rebuilt themselves, and remained emotionally grounded carry a different presence. Pain refined them. Instead of becoming bitter, they became wiser, and wisdom creates emotional depth. A man who has experienced hardship without losing his composure often feels emotionally safer than someone who has never faced adversity, because strength tested by life feels real. Women can sense when a man has survived difficult seasons and still carries kindness, calmness, and clarity. That combination is rare, and rarity creates attraction. Finally, the 10th thing older men wear is detachment. This may be the most misunderstood trait of all. Detachment is not emotional coldness, it's emotional freedom. A Stoic man loves deeply, but he does not lose himself inside attachment. He understands that everything in life is temporary. Youth fades, beauty changes, people come and go. And because he accepts this truth, he stops acting from fear. This creates a calm, grounded energy that women often find incredibly attractive. Because fear ruins attraction. Fear creates jealousy. Fear creates control. Fear creates desperation. But detachment creates peace. An older man who practices Stoic detachment does not try to possess people, appreciates them, and strangely enough, this often makes people want to stay closer to him, because emotionally free people are rare. Most people are controlled by fear of loss. But a Stoic man understands that peace comes from accepting change, not resisting it, and that acceptance changes the way he carries himself. At the end of the day, women are not deeply attracted to older men simply because of wrinkles, gray hair, or age itself. They are attracted to what age can produce in the right man. Calmness, patience, purpose, restraint, wisdom, standards, emotional, freedom. These are not fashion accessories. They are psychological signals of mastery. And when a man wears them naturally, without trying too hard, he creates something rare in today's world: presence. The kind of presence that makes people feel safe, curious, and emotionally drawn in without fully understanding why. Because true attraction is never loud, it is felt. And perhaps that's the real lesson Stoicism teaches us. The strongest man in the room is rarely the one demanding attention, it's the one who no longer needs it. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.